Sam, we are. Sam. Oh, you miss Sam. Sam, we are. Sam, we are. Sam, we are.
This is Sam Cap and Sam Dub with Sam We Are. This is cool. We have a really special guest today. She's someone I see multiple times a month, even in the past few months, which has been quite special. And I think I'm allowed to use your full name, which is okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Just want to make sure. We have a special guest here today, Adrienne Novak. Yay!
Woo! That was me wooing. Hi.
Hey, Adrienne.
I feel so special.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You seem like a special person.
Yeah.
I have always thought so myself, but it's really good to get validation.
Always.
This is your validation that you've been waiting for. You are special. You are on the podcast. It's true. Adrienne is one of my favorite people in the world because of so many reasons that we're going to list off. But one of the reasons is that she is my nail artist. She takes care of my babies. Now today, they're a little wonky. Don't look at them.
Oh my God, do
Listen,
not look at mine.
Here's
please.
the thing.
I was gonna say the same.
Quarantine ruined my nails because for 3 months I couldn't see the beautiful Adrienne and I had to just, pretend I knew what I was doing. They got weaker, and so they had a little breakage, which as we can attest to, Adrienne, for many years does not happen.
No,
never have
you're good.
breakage.
You're
I'm equating it to the quarantine. What about you? I'm not blaming either of us.
You know what?
It's the
There's
quarantine.
so much shit. Gray hairs, bad skin, nails breaking.
Are you talking about my
stress? Not you
maskne?
specifically. I mean, just like people, the world in general. I got gray hairs. I have had like 3 my entire life up until the past few months. And I swear I've got like a dozen rocking in my bangs. If you hide them, I'm not going to unhide them.
I do as well.
But
I've noticed it because my roots grew out so much.
New stuff. But so the good news is I heard that once the stress alleviates, it can
go away.
go away. Yeah. Like your grays will
That's actually true.
become pigmented again somehow or just not become.
I mean, look, you work in a salon, so you can tell me if that's
I know, I should
an
know,
old
should I
wives' tale
know?
or not. But I'll tell you from firsthand experience, a couple of years ago, I, had a horrible ex-boyfriend and we would fight all the time. And I would get to the point where I would be in the end of the fight and I would say, I cannot have this conversation again. You're giving me gray hairs and wrinkles. And I did have gray hairs from him. And last year I was really busy during the holiday season and I got a couple gray hairs and I was walking around my office saying, I have given my entire life to this organization. You took my youth. No one found it funny, but I thought it was hilarious. And those gray hairs all went away.
See?
Yeah. And then I got one in the middle of quarantine. It's like always in the same place, but I don't pluck it because I know that rule as well. I mean, that old wives' tale I think is true.
Wait, what wives' tale?
If you pluck a gray hair, 6 more grow back in
more
its
come
place.
back.
If you pluck a chin hair, 6 more grow back in its place.
See, I
It's
think
true for
more
chin
of,
hairs.
Like if you keep plucking in the same spot, you're going to end up with like a patchy little
I don't know.
spot,
I don't
which
know if
is
I believe that because I
worse,
feel like
I just want to avoid the patchy spot. I don't know about it sprouting more, but
I feel
That's
like
what they
eyebrows
say.
are similar.
Well, do you have gray
Plucked
eyebrow
to
hairs?
shit.
No, but I mean,
just in general. You have one.
One from this goddamn quarantine situation.
Yeah.
Never in my fucking life, but
Yeah.
one. And I've had to pluck it twice.
Yeah.
And it's very centering. Staring at
isn't it?
yourself in the mirror and you got one gray eyebrow hair. You really you know what life's all about in that moment.
That's true. That's
It's
true.
rough. You come to terms with your age and your mortality. Shit's real with
It's
gray
true.
eyebrow.
I noticed I found over this quarantine a gray pubic hair.
oh my God.
And it's not the
Okay.
first time. I found them when I was way younger, in my early 20s. And and what's weird about my hair though is it's obviously quite dark brown. You know I've never dyed my hair in my whole life. It's virgin hair. Very rare these days.
Yeah.
But my hair, instead of just going from like brown to gray or white, it actually goes orange first and then goes gray or white,
Yes.
which is so weird.
Yeah, that it gets that like reddish
Mhm.
tint to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I keep finding those little orange curly
Yeah.
hairs all over, pubic hairs here. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Oh, I haven't gotten to that point yet.
That's
thank
Sam Cap,
God.
just so you know.
Yeah, right.
Sam Dubb is like, I do not have any pubic hair. I have not had any pubic hair in 20 years.
What is pubic
hippie-
hair?
Don't know what that is.
Oh my gosh, during quarantine, I just let it all. I stopped shaving. I gave up on life and I stopped shaving for about 3 months in the beginning of quarantine. I think my boyfriend thought I was a non-shaver because I just gave up.
That's how we are.
Yeah, I gave, and I said, oh no, I do like shaving. I forgot to do it. I just didn't think about it. The world was ending and I didn't think, my pubes need shaved.
Well, a long time ago, I got one of those like laser zappy guns from Sephora.
Ooh.
And
that
it
sounds
sends
like
a light pulse.
A good idea.
Yeah, and it's not like one and done. You have to do it a couple of times, but the shit works. But you have to make sure that you're not overlapping because you don't want to burn yourself. But then when you go around the next time, you're trying to line it up. So long story short, I have white skin and black hair, and I'm not the best at aiming apparently because when I let it go, it's like black flag. Perfect rectangles. It's interesting looking, but
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So when I get lazy, I'm very patchy.
That's
My
hilarious.
husband's going to be so excited.
Yeah, I think when I was younger, I always would see I would see pubic hair that was like beautiful and like straight.
Where are you seeing all this pubic hair?
I don't know.
Do you remember your first, I saw pubes experience?
Like on
'Cause I was-
ourselves
I was,
or on another
traumatized,
person?
Like you saw somebody else,
Oh.
as a child or whatever. The
Like,
hell it might be.
In the media, like a
like a-
magazine or something like that, or
whatever it may be.
Do you know your? I know.
I
mine.
remember mine.
Oh, this is fun.
Mine was, I think, the Spice Girl,
Really?
Ginger Spice.
Had
That
a
was-
minge. Ginger Spice had a minge.
She,
Ginger minge?
girl. Ginger Spice is by far the superior Spice. Let's just say she's always
Yeah.
been my favorite.
Yeah,
but
no,
she posed for Playboy. And it was way before the Spice Girls happened. So if you don't know this, here you go.
Are we googling it? Is our producer?
So yes, she posed
Show
for
us this.
Playboy pre Spice Girls, and she was my favorite Spice Girl. So when I found this out, my mother actually bought it for me.
Oh my god.
Go mom.
Yeah, so
I love that.
that was like the first thing I saw, and she has
love
pubic
that we're
hair.
looking it
Speaking
up.
of pubic hair, she has
Oh, she does. Yeah,
nice
look at that.
pubic hair.
There is bush involved. I
Is
We're
love
that
bringing it up.
Jeremy?
Yes,
Because whenever you Google a star nude, there's it's like their head,
somebody else's
it's
head,
yeah,
or
right? You never.
something.
no,
Although,
it's
did
real.
Did anyone Google Chris Evans this week?
That is totally.
That's her,
I heard he did a thing.
right? He dropped his dick pic or
Is that
something.
the cap? That's
Who
the
is that?
Captain
Chris
America.
Evans, Captain America.
guy?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I prefer Aquaman,
Jerry.
but I guess he'll
Same.
do.
Oh, if Aquaman did, I mean,
I mean, superheroine is.
Yeah.
I don't look at porn, but I would look at that.
Oh my God, I would watch it on
goodness.
repeat every day.
I just get a little sweaty. Yeah. That's hot though, Jerry.
That's not
Who
a bad
knew?
first pube.
What's that?
That's not a bad.
That's a good first pube for
Yeah,
sure.
right? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was
Yeah.
like my first interaction with pubic hair besides like the Christian books about growing up that I was given as a child where they're just basically
Poor
like,
thing.
don't look at boys because you'll get pregnant and die.
Right.
So
You poor thing.
yeah,
my
this
gosh.
is how I saw it.
That's great. I feel like that's better than my experience, which was
I hope so.
it definitely. I mean, my first experience. We lived in like a very we were an open household.
I
you know,
Completely believe that.
yeah. You could tell
I have
by
no trouble.
right. I feel like all of us in this room are not afraid of a little nudity, and I think that
Little wang in your face.
yeah, I'm not afraid of it. And yeah, my mom's not afraid of it either. So mom was definitely rocking some 90s bush for sure.
Oh, you had
The
Big old bush.
Yeah, my mom had some 90s, but we would be like, Mom, we would bang on that door while she was peeing or pooping. And, I think my whole life. And we just,
kids have no
you just-
boundaries.
we have
Children
no
fucking
boundaries.
Stared at her
Horrible.
bush.
yeah, I mean, I just remember it distinctly, it was like a big old 90s bush. Sorry, Mom. I hope you don't listen to this episode.
She's
I
definitely gonna hear this.
apologize. I love you and your giant bush. Nothing wrong with
Come
it.
on.
You're such a feminist. She was a badass feminist. She really was. She is a badass feminist.
I know. It's like, what happened?
She's alive and well. I just meant back then she was a badass feminist. I meant in the 90s, 30 years ago. It was, I think, a little bit more rare for moms to be so badasses. She was like, my dad was a stay-at-home dad. My mom went to work. So we really had like a super feminist household, which was awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah. When was your
I remember
first
that.
bush, Adrian?
goodness. So I was properly traumatized. I was about 8 or 9, and my brother and I used to get dropped off at my grandma's house in like the next town over, and they had this summer camp at the park around the corner, and it was fantastic. And there were always kids there, and you could, play in all the shit, and there was basketball and kickball and all this stuff. And I actually really, really enjoyed it until one day when we were sitting out on the basketball court, we're picking teams, and the one counselor was sitting with her legs out in this V, and I'm off to the side, and she's wearing shorts, and I can see directly up the leg of her shorts, and it's all dark and brown and mossy, and I'm just like fucking horrified because mine doesn't look like that, and I'd never seen one that looked like that. My mom had these like The Joy of Sex books from the 70s where everyone had, like big old cartoon bushes.
Oh God.
But it wasn't like it
I know
wasn't,
exactly what you
right
mean.
There in front of you. And it was scary. I thought there was like something wrong with her at first. And
No, I'm with you.
I got nervous for her.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah. It was scary.
But then, figured it out.
It's kind of crazy because every girl has that moment in her life where she sees another vagina and she's like, that does not look like what I have going on, because you assume that all of them look like yours. You're
Right.
like, everyone looks like this. And then you
100%.
see one, you're like, no, they don't. And I have a great story
Tell us.
to roll off of what you just said because it popped into my head immediately, and I will have nightmares tonight.
Oh my God.
So yeah, in my youth, shall we say, I was maybe like, let's say 19. So I got body painted at the Playboy Mansion, and it would be my first of many trips there. So I was obviously standing around waiting to get painted with a bunch of naked girls. And let me tell you, I guarantee you I've seen more naked girls than anyone in this room. Probably all of you combined. I've seen that many naked bitches. So I had a lot of examples of what pussies look like.
Yeah.
And in that room alone, there were maybe like 10 different kinds.
Right.
And there was one in particular that I will think about forever.
Oh, no.
Like it like when I have that like flashback, like when I'm about to die, of like your whole life, like this pussy is gonna come up and it's gonna be like, hey,
remember me?
yes, this is exactly what it's gonna say. So this girl, God bless her soul, I don't remember her name, so she's safe, but she was waiting to get body painted, and she just started talking to me, and I'm a very outgoing person. I can make a conversation with anyone. So I'm like, all right, cool, I made a friend. And so I couldn't help but look at her, assess her body, compare it with mine, of course, as all women do.
Yeah, of course.
And I noticed hers looked extremely different. And when I say extremely different, it looked broken. It looked like it didn't work.
Oh no.
I was confused. I was like, what is this?
Oh no.
So she proceeds to tell me about it. Like she's in my mind and can hear what I'm thinking. So she proceeds to tell me about it and tells me about how she's had multiple children. This is a result of all of her childbirth, which totally makes sense now that I'm thinking about it. At my 19-year-old self, I'm like, all right, I don't want to have children ever.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's telling me all this, and she was like, yeah, so, when they paint it, I actually got part of it pierced so that I could tie a tampon string around the piercing and insert it to suck the lips back up. And I did not ask.
Oh my
That's how
God.
bad it was, because
my
we're
God.
getting body painted, and when you get body painted, you're completely naked.
Yeah.
But once you're finished, it looks like you're wearing clothes. Like, honest to God, you literally
Yeah.
look. You can't see anything, but they really painted on there, so like you can't just be like hanging out exposed like that. It's probably not great to absorb.
Yeah. True.
So yeah, that
Oh my God.
is what I think of,
Wow.
and what
Wow.
will forever haunt me.
As
Poor women, the both of you. You
That's-
and her.
Yes,
I feel so bad for her. That's like
I do too.
That's
She was
intense. But you
super
know what?
sweet.
yeah.
You know what though? Pretty sure she chose to have children.
She did.
Just saying.
She was really pretty too, so like she had that.
Pretty sure she opted to take.
I
that
think
load
she.
and
I
keep
think
it.
she had
Oh my gosh,
several.
That was the funniest thing.
The only answer for how many children she could have had for it to look like that, I think, would be like 13.
Oh my
Lord.
gosh.
That's probably not right,
It's
but
so scary.
yeah.
No one should have any. Never mind. I'm just kidding. Cut that out. Cut that out. Mark that out. Cut that out. It was just a joke.
Well, I
I'm going to offend viewers. Cut that out. I have a niece. I'm just
people-
kidding. Please cut that out.
I mean,
Who
the
do
earth
have
is
them
shit.
should
You're not
not have
wrong.
Yes.
Moving right along.
I was
We're
in the
good.
mood-
There's
yeah.
enough people here.
Yeah, actually, I think most of us, I think the three of us at least don't want kids. I could say I don't
No.
intend to have kids. At any
No,
point,
I actually,
right?
I can't. I had a hysterectomy when I was 29, so I had the option taken away. But I knew before that I did not want to have them.
Yeah, I have no
But yeah,
desire.
there's plenty of people who have them, and
They're having many.
Yeah.
You know, they're just
and
keep
they really
popping them out.
shouldn't. They don't even like them.
You know, right?
You know, it's like I'd be so nice.
It's true. When you were telling me this story about this woman's vagina, this is going to sound so weird. And I did not intend for this episode to be about vaginas. But I have had a lot of, this is, how do I explain this? I've had a lot of weird things happen to my vagina. I don't mean sexually.
Bring it down.
I don't mean sexually. You know, like for example, when I was in college, I had a Bartholin cyst, which is a cyst on the outside of your vagina. And I walked myself to the hospital to have emergency surgery because this was a decade ago and Uber did not exist. And I was in college in Pittsburgh and taxis did not exist there. And I didn't think to call an ambulance because I was young. And so I just walked myself to the hospital to have emergency surgery on my vagina. That was the first one. That wasn't what I was going to say, though. The thing that I was going to say, this is going to sound so weird. This is such a weird segue. Okay. Maybe about 8 years ago, I went from one day not being allergic to latex to the next day being allergic to latex. Like same condoms, same partners, multiple partners, all good stuff.
So bad.
Using condoms for many years and no trouble. And then all of a sudden, one day I was with a partner using a condom, and all of a sudden my vagina blew up.
Oh God.
Now, the reason that I'm laughing is because your lips look exactly like my pussy lips when they blew up
in a good way.
in a good way. Like they're
best
so
way
pillowy
possible.
and soft and just like
Wait,
that.
my lips.
Your lips. That I'll show you. I'm not going to show you all now, but after we are done this, because this is not an NC-17.
So when you look at my face, you see your vagina. Is that what you're saying?
And she likes.
I
it.
never did before this moment, and
But
now,
not forever. You will.
Oh, well, when
It
you,
will never end.
I have to show you my pussy. I mean,
Oh,
not
my.
this moment, but from 8 years ago when it blew up, I have photographs, and it's like your
poor
lips
thing.
turn.
Oh my god.
And it's exact. They're like same color, same.
Oh, you're
puffiness.
right.
It's,
This
like,
is very
perfect.
weird.
This is weird, right? You can just cut all that. No, I'm just kidding. Don't cut that. But yeah, that's when you said that, and I was like, yeah, it's so weird. That's exactly what my pussy looked like when I discovered I had a latex allergy.
So what you're saying really is that you have an amazing looking pussy when you have an allergic reaction?
Exactly. And then I was just thinking, instead of getting like my lips done, if I should just rub latex on the outside of my lips.
Let's try it
What
right
movie
now.
was it?
A little bit.
Where there was a movie where the wife, the husband wouldn't go down on her ever, and she was like real sad about it. Something happened to her mouth. She lost her lips. She had her vagina lips put on her face to be facial lips, and then she thought it was like, haha, fuck you every time he kissed her, because it was her vag lips. It was a movie. What was that? Who knows this?
I don't
swear
know.
to God,
I have
I'm not
never
making
heard
it
of
up.
this.
That's a wild ass movie.
I swear I'm not making it up.
It sounded like I thought you were going to describe
Some
teeth.
accident where she lost the lips on her face and got them surgically replaced with her nether lips.
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
That's intense.
it works in the movie.
I mean, you're not going to take skin from your arm and try and make lips out of
like,
it,
what
right?
would you use? What else would you use?
Yeah.
That
Like
kinda
your
makes sense.
ass. I mean, you don't have a lot of options here. What are you going to use? Toes? Like, there's nothing
No, that's true.
No, you gotta save
That's
those
true.
in case you need a thumb.
true. Don't want to be like a puppy that can't use their thumbs.
We just took this in the weirdest direction for this podcast.
Don't
I'm
we
so
always,
excited.
though?
So this is it's why me?
I knew it.
Pregnant military nurse who is the victim of drunk driving accident. We're going to skip it. Leona is seriously disfigured. I think this is what we were looking at here.
Okay.
And her face in the car. Okay.
Was it an old movie?
This is, this is.
Okay, there you go.
Old.
Look at that.
1984.
All right.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I'm pretty old.
You're not old.
That works. That works.
I love that. That is so weird.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
Super weird.
So anyway, that was what I was thinking of when you were telling us the story about everyone's vagina looking different. And I was just thinking that one time my pussy lips looked exactly like your beautiful lips.
Yeah.
Now. Just-
Top and bottom. Let's just clarify,
I'll show you a picture afterwards if anyone wants to see. If you consent to seeing my vagina,
I'll look at it.
I will show you if you want to see it, but no pressure.
No, I'll
I'll
definitely look at
For the
it.
vagina if somebody
Yeah.
wants to.
Yeah.
It's super weird. I mean, it's freaky. When I sent it to my friends when it happened, they were like, we didn't want to see this. Like, don't show us. This is horrifying.
It sounds just so sad
It
for
was-
your poor crotch.
Yeah,
you
it was
know?
it was the saddest thing ever.
Like,
Yeah.
what an allergy.
What an allergy. And literally from
Wait, so
one
now
day-
you are allergic to?
I am allergic
Okay.
to latex. Yeah, I cannot use latex.
Yeah, this
Interesting.
Is from the allergist. Apparently, that's very common. So it's like common that you would come in contact with latex, be okay, and then out of nowhere possibly become allergic to it.
How weird is that?
Think how many bitches say that though to their sugar daddies. They're like, "Oh my god, I can't fuck you because I'm allergic to latex." So like,
Like, bitch, I got
I need you to invent a latex-free condom. Like,
Right?
seriously, that's probably been passed around a few times.
For real. Well, they do. They make a couple of them. They make skin brand. They make lambskin. All of us here are vegan. And so the lambskin are actually made from lambskin. And I would not use them.
Disgusting.
They make another brand. I think I'm going to totally fuck it up because I'm not a scientist, but I think it's polyurethane or something like that. I don't know. I'm just,
That sounded
making,
legit.
I'm just
Make
making
floors out of,
science
right?
words up. Yeah. And then that's what that was like my favorite brand is like Skin, SKYN. And actually I found those to be better and like thinner and like more natural feeling. Yeah. Skin.
Be real, you don't use condoms.
Well, no, not anymore with my boyfriend, of course. But when I was using them, but there's so many in my drawers right now. If anyone wants like an unused box of condoms, they're extra large. Okay, I got you. Well, you can keep your hand up for extra large. I'm not sure. I don't know you like that. But yeah, and you can have them. I have regular too. But they're they're actually great. I had many just a few. I had many good reviews on those from men that I used them with that they were like, oh, what are these condoms? They're fantastic. And I actually think that they were more pleasurable than a lot of the regular latex condoms. They're thinner. Yeah.
It has
and they feel
been
better.
so long since I've even like seen one in person.
Yeah.
It's been, yeah,
Yeah. Both of you, right?
it's been a
Yeah.
really long time. Well,
These women are married.
when I met my now husband, when I met him and we started, dating and talking, I said, I'm pretty much the perfect woman. So I don't bleed and you can't knock me up. It's fantastic.
It's great.
But I did let him know right away I don't cook and I don't clean. So like there's a downside to all this stuff.
Were you about to sing the lyrics of Wet Ass Pussy? Because I thought that's what
I
we were
really
leading
thought that's
into.
where you were going
I don't
to.
cook. I don't clean.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
that does apply.
Yes.
That was you. I was like, oh, this
This
is
is like my little,
we're about to go into
my
it.
theme song.
Yeah. I mean, is it not all of our theme song? If it's not your theme song
I feel
right
like it
now,
should be.
I will help you out. Get some lube, drip it on that pussy. It'll be a wet ass pussy. Everything is good. Don't even worry about
Anybody
it.
who's never had one is a sad creature.
It's
Deserves
true.
one. Everybody
There's a lot of
deserves
sad
one.
creatures.
That's true.
Yeah, everybody deserves one.
yeah.
That's true. And it's okay if you don't have a wet ass pussy naturally. Like some
Yeah.
people
Oh, no,
are
totally
not
cool.
gushing wet ass pussies. And that's okay.
That's okay too.
Use some
yes.
lube. Pour some lube on that
You're
bitch.
just saying you deserve it. However
Exactly.
you get it,
Yes.
you deserve it.
That's true. You do deserve it. There
Doesn't
are
have to be
many
natural.
ways you can get it.
Yeah.
I know a lot of women who use like CBD. Did we talked about this before? CBD like lubricants. So you sort of like there's many kinds, but one of the best ones that people use is from a brand Foria. And you would like insert it. It's kind of like they call it like a THC tampon. We talked about this in a different way before. And you would insert it into your vagina, but it has different chemical properties. It's not meant to like relieve pain, but it's sort of meant to like loosen the muscles.
cramping?
Exactly. Well, you would use it to sort of help release tension in the vagina before you would have sex. You would put it in like 15 minutes prior to when you wanted to begin your sexual activity. And so
that could be
it
good
like
for a lot of people.
yeah. it's interesting. So it gets you like a little bit, you feel like a little bit relaxed. Your vagina muscles are like less tense. And then also it's a lubricant. So you already have lubricant that's been put inside of you.
Yeah.
at
Who
that
needs a
point.
stocking stuffer?
Anyone?
There's
Yeah.
girls out there. I know. No names. No names.
Yeah, no names.
But there's girls out there, and I know one that are just in life so stressed out and so anxious, literally, that like sex actually became painful and just couldn't fucking do it.
yeah.
Actually couldn't
There's a name for it.
unclench your life.
What's
Yeah,
the
she
name
saw
for
a doctor and everything. If I heard it, maybe I'd know it. Tight giner? I don't think that's it.
it? One of my friends has it. No names.
Tight, I like
Um,
tight giner.
My mind wanted to say vaginosis,
too.
but that's something else. That's like
that's like you got some
That's a
shit
different-
growing or something. You don't want that.
But
That's not a-
vaginitis? No, that's a different thing.
My
That's the
mind
same
wants to
thing.
say like hypoclampsia. Is that a thing?
I feel yeah.
something to do with pregnancy.
Also, for the record, we're both
Or is that
high, so
Yeah, I'm so
we
high.
can't be held
Yeah.
responsible
I'm
for trying to
Are we
definitely-
think.
allowed to get high?
Yes, you can vape in here. Yeah.
To clarify the question was if a vagina is too small.
I
I didn't.
like that.
couldn't
That's
hit
where
it.
his man brain went, though. He's like, vagina's too
Oh, don't
small.
start doing
I'm just
I
kidding.
missed. No, if a vagina is too dry, then that's what
No,
we're doing.
not too dry. Like
It's
it's
not
like
producing.
it's like
Anxious.
It's like
tensed up.
yeah, it's like the vagina
closed
literally
up.
closes.
Clenched.
Yeah, it like clenches. A friend of mine has it. I can't remember what the fuck it's called.
Me
But
either,
it's-
she was telling me about it. I was like, you poor thing. You just
Yeah.
can't relax enough to get it.
Yes, you can't relax, and that's why these things that you would insert into the vagina. Yeah,
Vaginismus.
That's it. That's
Ah.
it.
Wow.
That's why I thought it was vaginosis because it's a
Very
similar
close. Very close.
vaginismus. Yeah,
Vaginismus?
vaginismus. Yes,
That's unfortunate. Too. So ladies,
Vaginismus.
if you can't get
Yeah.
it in there, see somebody about that. Get
Yeah.
that shit fixed.
Involuntary tightening. That's got to be
Yes.
very tough to
Yeah,
deal with.
Yeah.
from like stress and anxiety and
yeah,
it's very unfortunate.
yeah, and I think it's a lot of things that women in particular like struggle with in sex is being able to relax. It's one of the things that I hear most of my friends tell me that they're struggling with in regard to sex is just being able to shut down their brains and be in the moment and be in their bodies and present for that pleasure.
So I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan actually of like limited sensory deprivation.
Yeah.
So I'm into like blindfolds and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh.
fantastic thing. Having your ears covered where you can't really hear
Mm.
a whole lot going on. Fantastic. Put a little sheet over your head.
That's so interesting.
Like
I
a-
would never think about
like
that.
a
I
bag?
love that.
Sort of the idea of like if you lose faculty of one of your senses, all your other ones kind of get a little heightened.
Yeah.
No, it
That's
totally
what
makes
people say
sense.
Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I bet that
I like
helps.
that. It's kind of fun.
Sounds fun.
And you're focusing on something like your brain is immediately going to focus on the blindfold or on your ears being covered or on whatever is happening.
Very in that moment.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's great. I think that's one of the things that I personally love about like kink and BDSM is that you can be really present in the moment, Like people don't realize people who have never participated in it have no idea what, of course, we all know this, have no idea what it's about. Sam, you look terrified. You're like
BD what?
Sam looks really scared right now. I feel like you look so
I'm
innocent.
sorry, I was completely zoned out. So thanks
You
for
looked-
bringing me back.
Good. You looked like you were totally terrified of BDSM. I was like, do you consent to discuss
No,
this?
I was
I
somewhere
didn't-
else.
No worries. But I mean,
Okay, now.
that's just one of the things I love about it is, people think it's just about, let's say, like if you like being, spanked with a flog or whatever, people think it's just like about the
Yeah,
pain.
it's not all about
It's
getting
not.
tied up and
Yeah.
spanked. That's not. I mean, if that's
Yeah.
your jam, then by all means, jam out. But
Yeah.
there's a whole lot more to it.
Yeah, there is.
100%.
There's so many more layers and levels to it where you're sort of for me, a lot of it is like giving up control where I feel like I'm so obsessed with being in control about everything. I'm like, this has to be this way. And everything's going to be this way. I know exactly where I'm going to go. And I know where the bathrooms are wherever I'm going. Like I know exactly what's happening. And with that, you really have to like trust the person that you're with. Right. And in a good way and give up that control for a moment. And you can really be a lot more present with your body and with yourself and with your partner, than if you're just not participating in this act. Sam, you do look a little scared still. Are you?
No, I'm with
You're
you.
into it. You're into
I'm with you.
You're like,
I'm like
not-
intensely listening.
That's good. Yeah. But But yeah, that was all I got for that. Now you made me space out. You stressed me out, Sam.
I hear you.
I felt like you were judging me. You know?
Control
I am always.
issue there.
Yeah.
I feel like in my life, like me out in the world, working, relating to friends and strangers and shit like that, I'm relatively assertive. I'm pretty
Yeah.
straightforward. I'm outspoken. I'll,
Yes.
generally be the one to get up and say something if someone in the group needs to say something.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that.
It's true.
However, in my personal life with my husband, and this has never happened in any other relationship that I've been in, which is also interesting to note, I pretty much just do what I'm told. I hand over my paycheck and I do what I'm told. And that's why it's okay that I don't cook and I don't clean.
Yeah.
Because I'm very obedient. I am so good at catering too. And then in return, I get spoiled fucking rotten. It's ridiculous, like completely rotten. So we have this arrangement, where daddy makes the rules and I follow them. And it just works out that way.
Yeah.
But fuck you if you try to tell me that's somebody else in the world. Like no one else is allowed to speak to me that way, handle me that way, attempt to run the life that way. And I love it. I love it.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I love that. And that's one of the things that we get a lot, we like always talk about too, is that exact thing, because you're such a badass boss bitch. And you're telling everyone what to do. You're in control of everything all the time. And then there's something about when you go to the bedroom that being able to drop that control and let go for a moment. It's
100%.
yeah.
And be completely secure in the knowledge that you're 100% safe. Like anything could happen in the room and you're still going to be safe. It's going to be fine.
Yeah, that's right.
Like those Japanese businessmen that like go crazy all day long screaming in board meetings and like making millions of dollars and then just like want to be pissed on by somebody. I love you. Bless you. You
Mhm.
are following your heart and your dreams. Like that's how you relieve your stress. Bless you. Bless you. More people need to find out how they need to,
Yeah.
whatever it is that you need to do to get that shit out, you need to get it out because people are uptight.
Yeah. No,
Yes.
it's 100% true. Yeah.
You know?
I mean, no, I'm the same way. I'm very like, I make a lot of decisions at work. I have a lot of different jobs. I run a lot of different businesses and I'm always in control. I'm always making decisions. And then when it comes to, sex, like I just want to completely let go of control. I want to be completely dominated. I'm like,
Do you like picking where you have to eat? Because I fucking
ooh.
hate that too.
Yeah, that's a hard
yeah,
one.
that's really, really difficult.
I feel like that's just as important as like the bedroom thing. It's like, what do you want for dinner? Don't make me pick that. Don't make me pick that.
I feel like
Yeah.
too, there in a relationship, usually there's one person that's just kind of like the decision maker. Like when you both are like, I don't know. One person is usually the one that's like, okay, this is what it is, and that's me.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
That's
like you have to like one of you, like you keep it equal and keep it open, but you have to have one of you that'll be like, this is what we're doing.
Finally,
Yeah.
put the foot down, go.
Yeah,
I feel like both
Somebody's
of
got to go. Like shit or get off the pot.
yeah.
Yeah. I feel like both of you have like similar relationships with your husbands. Like I think, and correct me if I'm mistaken, but
Let's hear it.
I don't mean anything weird. Just cut the tapes. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to stop saying that. Now I'm tripping up our producer. That was a joke.
Do I do
I'm
it?
done.
No.
But yeah, I feel like both of your husbands do the cooking in the house for the most part.
It's
Yeah.
pretty.
Is that-
It,
Are you share?
for the
I'm
past couple of
sorry.
years, I've done a lot of the cooking.
Okay, I'm
actually.
sorry, Sam.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to throw you under the
But
bus. My
no,
bad.
but to prove your point, we've been together for 10 years, and for the first 7, I didn't.
Okay,
So,
gotcha. So- and he likes to.
and
cook.
when I say
Okay.
I didn't, I mean I didn't.
got you.
I didn't do.
Oh yeah,
Anything.
I love that though.
100%. Yeah, that's kind of funny. We've been together 10 years too, married for pushing 5. And I have made more dinners in this quarantine than I have in the entirety of the rest of our relationship.
Yeah.
And it was purely out of boredom. It's because I didn't have anything else to do.
Yep.
It was serious. It wasn't because I enjoyed it. It was just like, can I make soup tonight?
Right. What else do we have to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like that. I like that I don't have to cook. I like that I get fed. I feel like I appreciate the food
Yeah.
more. I don't know if whenever we go out somewhere, I'm much less critical of what comes to me. You know,
Yeah.
he'll
Yeah.
like sort of analyze the flavors of it, and they could have done this a little different. The sauce a little bit that way, and I'm just like, man, I'm just happy there was hot food in front of me, and I didn't have to make it. You know.
I like that.
I'm with you.
That's how my boyfriend is, and I'm grateful because I love to cook, and I couldn't
Oh,
deal with
that's
someone who was
great.
picky. Like, I just need you to say, yes, I will eat anything you make, because I just, I just want to cook. If you start putting limitations on my cooking,
Do you want to hear
I
a fun
won't do
story
it.
about one time I did try to cook?
yes, always.
And it's nail related too. So
Oh my
you
gosh,
you can
yes.
kind of relate to this one. So this was a couple years ago, and I was home by myself. My husband was at work. I decided I was going to be nice. Out of nowhere, I decide I'm going to make chili because it's like one thing that I know how to make and I've done maybe like a couple times in my life. So I get everything out and get the cans and I get the pot. And all you have to do is like empty a couple cans into the little slow cooker and turn the shit on, right? Easy peasy. First fucking can of beans I open. First can of beans, I slice my finger all the way down the middle, just straight through the knuckle, all the way down the middle. I'm almost sure I can see bone. It's just the kind where nothing happens at first.
Mm.
And then it all happens.
And then it's like The Shining. So this happens, right? Now this like all over the kitchen. And then I look at the clock and I realize that I was going to make the chili, this look, and then go to my nail appointment to get my manicure that I'd been waiting weeks for. Because this was back in the days before I did nails. I wasn't about to miss my nail appointment. So rather than go to the hospital, I got some paper towels and some tape. And I wrapped up my finger so tightly. It was horrendous. And I went to the nail salon and I made her promise to be gentle. And she was. It was fantastic.
Oh my God.
But then when I got home, my nails look great. It was awesome. But when I got home and unwrapped it all, I realized I 100% should have gone to the hospital and gotten at least one stitch. But I figured at that point, like I gotten this far without it. So I just wrapped it back up.
Oh my God.
And tried not to bend it for like a couple of weeks. And it works. And it's okay now.
Yeah, it
And
looks
my
great.
gosh, yeah, you'd never
You would
really
never be able to
know.
tell.
I have a really nice scar from it, but
You'd never be able to
experience
tell.
taught me. I once cut a different finger on a piece of glass all the way down where I did hit bone and did have to go to the hospital and did have to get several stitches. So I knew what it was like. I didn't want to go through it again. I really wanted my nails done.
I mean, your nails getting done is probably the most important
Priorities.
thing. Yeah,
But just have
you
to
didn't
have
need that
priorities.
finger. Yeah,
And I feel like maybe that sort of like, maybe that was telling
yeah,
in life where nails were going to become more important
yeah.
than other things in my life.
Like body parts,
look
yeah.
and look what's- well, it was also my left hand. So like that one's not as important.
It's not that important. And I want to, speaking of nails, when you walked in here, you looked at this poster over here.
Oh, yeah.
And what did you say when you walked in here?
So I 100% did that lady's nails for a magazine cover a couple of years ago. Like right when I first started doing nails. It's Josie Moran for anybody who can't like see what's going on and wants to know who we're talking about.
Yeah, thank you.
She was well, she now has a makeup line,
Cool.
Josie Moran Cosmetics.
That's
And it's
awesome.
all, like clean and argan oil and whatnot. But she was in, I want to say, Van Helsing as one of like the hot vampire chicks.
That's cool.
I think that was what she was in. She had like a limited acting career.
Yeah.
You are correct.
Yeah. She looked
I sound
good
so
in that
dry on this
movie,
podcast.
too.
Sorry, everybody. You are
You are
right.
correct.
I don't know why. Just like enthusiastic. Yeah, she was in a bunch. She's got a bunch of stuff here. You got Van Helsing, The Aviator,
There you go.
Little
that's
Black
so
Book, all
funny.
kinds of cool stuff. I'm going to pull it up so people can see what we're seeing
Yeah,
too.
she's a
there,
pretty
okay?
lady. Yeah, she's a pretty lady. And she was so sweet. She was so nice. She was very, very, very welcoming, very endearing. She looked fabulous. She was like exactly how you want to be when you're like an older, fabulous lady in your little kimono, just like strolling about your house with people doing your makeup and your nails and your hair. And also,
that.
fun story, the gentleman who does the majority, well, did at least the majority of Sia's wigs, was the guy who did her hair.
That's
So,
awesome.
like kind of, so there's like, how many degrees is that? How does the degree
Like
game
2,
work?
3
Like
degrees, I think.
2 degrees
Yeah.
Celsius, maybe?
That was
Something like
3 degrees separation from Sia.
Direct connection to Josie Moran. Touched her, held hands with her, did her nails. But yeah, pretty
That's-
close to see it too.
That is so badass.
That's totally random because like no one ever knows who the hell she is or like what she's from. And I'm like, oh, but I did her nails. For a
I
thing. I
always
know her.
recognize her face,
She's
but I don't
beautiful.
know like
Yeah.
anything that she's done.
I only really knew Van Helsing. But yeah.
That is so funny. I don't know why it just like
Little
cracks me up. I love that little like it's such a small world, you know. Everyone knows everyone.
And now, producer friends, when you see your buddy who gave you the poster, you can tell him, I met some bitch who painted her nails.
That is awesome. And Adrian, I feel like you've had a really cool life and career. You've done so many amazing things, like so many. You studied to be a funeral director. You were?
I did.
You were? Did you do it, right?
I did go to college. I graduated. I have an associate's in funeral service, and I went on to be a funeral director's assistant for a year up in Boston. Wow. It was fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a great time.
So you like scary stuff. You're not afraid of scary stuff. Is that
Not afraid of scary things at all. Love to be scared.
like Sam too?
Me
Sam,
too.
Sam, I
Yeah.
think Sam just fell in love with you.
Yeah.
I'll
love
speak for her, but
So one of
Neil too. I'm the only
Really?
one. Yeah.
I'm really looking for some friends to go with me to Penhurst.
Oh, I'm
Like-
all about that. We go to what is it? The Terror Behind the Wall?
No,
by
no,
the
girl.
penitentiary
This
all
this
time.
is
We went the day
the
after we got married.
this is not the
wanna
jump
go
out
to
and
that
scare you one.
one.
This is the one where you're by your fucking self. You go with some friends. You get there at 10 o'clock at night. There's no one else. They give you ghost hunting equipment, and they're like, "Have fun."
Okay,
And
I'm
you're like
down.
walking around
I'm
Penhurst,
down, new
and I'm
friends.
ballsy. I'll be like, "Yo, is anyone here? Touch my hand."
Oh,
So
I'm
this is
into
why
that
my husband
shit.
can't go, because if I did that and he was beside me, he might punch me in the face. And anyone that's met my husband knows he's the sweetest, kindest human that was ever born.
Yeah.
So for him to punch me, yeah,
So Wes is like me. He does not fuck with the
terrified.
Yeah, I don't do ghost. Even if you say the word, I'm like, nah. This podcast ends
See,
now.
I have like free reign over nail art. I usually do like pretty
Yeah.
much whatever my little heart desires nail art wise. We, collaborate sometimes, but I remember the one rule, the one hard and fast rule Sam ever gave me: no ghosts. We were doing Halloween nails, and she said,
Yeah.
no ghosts.
You did a poll on your Instagram the other day, and you said, "What designs should I do for
Oh, yeah.
Halloween?" And I didn't send it because I didn't want to be annoying, but I started to type nothing scary.
What were the options?
Oh, people put in like blood drips and slime
It's
and
cute.
spider webs and bats and things of
I
that
love
nature.
bats.
I'm doing since we're on the subject of nails, doing a press on, like a fall Halloween collection.
Yeah.
That I hope to. I don't know. It's really fun. I've been having a good time making them.
They're
putting out
gorgeous.
as many as my little hands can make. It'll be released on the 22nd. I guess it's like the first day of fall.
Okay.
So I thought that was a good time.
It's
And then as I
perfect.
make more, they'll get popped onto
Is
the
that on
site.
your Instagram or anything? I can
that's-
pull that up. If
Yeah,
anyone-
can you
it
pull that up?
is- it
Is
is
it cool?
thefancyfinch.com.
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
And they are.
You have a website.
I do.
You're
I do.
legit.
It's
Yeah.
super legit. It's pretty bare bones.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty basic, but
Uh-oh. Took me over something else. Hold on.
no, the fancy.
Oh, the fancy. Excuse me.
The
Finch.
fancy.
God, get
Anyone-
it right,
I don't even
Neil.
know the language.
Oh, really?
now.
Wow, like
Immediately.
what are we even
I
doing
don't
here? Are you even a
I'm
producer?
just so
There we
comic. I'm
go.
sorry.
There we go.
Now you get whipped. That's what
Yes.
first we abuse you
Oh,
verbally,
now it
then you
turns
get
into-
whipped. Yeah.
All right, let's go.
So yeah, right now in the press on section, there's different tiers of nail art.
Oh, the ones in the middle
oh my
are
God,
my
Sam,
nails.
your nails are on here so many times. Yeah, so many times your nails are on here. Just as
Those are
examples of different
Yeah.
levels of nail art.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
But as soon
Cool.
as I get like the Halloween and the fall ones done, they're not all going to be spooky stuff. A lot of them are just going to have a fall vibe. They'll go up there, and I
That
like
is
them.
cool.
They're super sturdy, reusable. They're not like your $7, drugstore press-ons.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're pretty hardy.
They're custom. They're like you can
They-
get
you can get custom art.
everything. Yeah. They're so cool.
You can let me do my thing. You can ask for what you want. We can collaborate.
Yeah.
But then you soak them on off. They're made with gel, so they stay nice and shiny, and then you can wear them as many times as your little heart desires.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I think I'll have to get some. That are
They're
like
so pretty.
like the scariest shit.
Oh, I will hook it up. We'll do some
You
fun
can
stuff.
possibly think
Absolutely.
of.
Halloween nails are my jam.
Seriously.
Halloween nails are fun.
You both are Halloween queens, like Halloweens. Like it's not my thing. Wait, Adrian, are we allowed to pull up your Instagram to see other styles?
Yeah.
Can you pull up the
Absolutely.
I just want to see all your beautiful work because I feel like it's a it's like a scroll of all your beautiful. We don't care
Oh,
about
Is it-
you.
little squirrels actually.
Thank you. I just want to make sure that was okay.
Yeah.
But
that's
yeah,
me.
I mean,
Right at the top there.
Let me just pull it
Simba.
up for everybody to see. There we go.
Look, I follow you.
Yay! Hi.
Hi.
Both of you. That's fantastic.
Oh
That
my
is
gosh.
us.
But yeah, if you you can see like all of Adrian's like artwork. It is
Ooh.
just like the coolest, most unreal stuff she does.
Thank
Seriously,
you.
like
That's
just the
real
most.
big for everybody. Sorry.
Yeah,
Just
no,
the-
you're
Yeah.
good.
I have fun.
Oh,
I
these
get
are cool.
Inspired
Yeah.
by I don't know, a lot of different things, fabrics and album art, and other people bring me pictures and say, "Can you do this?" And I will always give it a try. Those are my pride nails. They
So
were
cool.
like so much fun for me.
Oh, one year we got to
So
do
much fun.
2 sets of pride nails
We
in
actually,
one.
yeah, the way
In
we
June, we had
spaced our
double.
appointments out.
It was
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah. These are, I mean, they're just like the designs, honestly, Adrian is really like an artist, and really it's like a
Yeah.
miniature canvas. If you, I mean, the detail, the level of detail that you get in your nail design is just unreal. The ones on
You're
the
so
left are my
sweet.
custom
Yeah,
set that
that
you
red
made for
set.
me, the red
Mhm.
set. The one below
Oh,
that.
one
Yeah,
below.
the red ones. Those are so
Mhm.
much
Those are
fun.
mine. Yeah.
Yeah, the ones above it were a custom set I did for my sister, actually. She sent me a bunch of reference photos.
Yeah, it's got an right Egyptian, an Egyptian
Yeah.
scarab.
Yeah.
And if anybody is just listening to this, go there now. It's really beautiful work.
Thank you.
As someone who just appreciates artwork, you're definitely gonna dig.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Neil. Yeah,
I'll
that's
try.
at Little Squirrels on Instagram. Yeah, it is. It is beautiful artwork.
Thank
And
you.
every time I mean, my goodness, I've gotten my nails done with you. We won't say how many times, but let's just put it out there. Every 2 weeks for the past 2 or 3 years, something like that.
Like two
So
and a half
you all can
years,
do
something
that
like
math yourselves.
Yeah,
And so
we
I mean,
spent a lot of time together, me too.
yeah, so we've done maybe like 100 sets or something like that together. Is that
So
sound
many.
that sounds insane, but
So many
I
good
think that's
ones,
we
though.
had to have, and we've never done anything like never done 2 the same. Every single time I see Adrian, I get a different like creation like this on my nails, and it's unreal. It's
That's
really
awesome.
Yeah, it's unreal.
Wait, can
I
we
love
go
that you
back
love it.
to
Yeah.
what you were saying before? You were saying, you were talking about Adrian, but you were
Yeah.
like going on. Like, I feel like there's so much more
There's so much
to
more
like.
about Adrian. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the nails, funeral director, and then also you, I
Oh,
believe,
yeah.
have traveled the world. Tell me if I'm wrong.
I wish.
Was
I
it traveled?
wish. I've-
Traveled all over for modeling. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I traveled around different places around the country, up and down the East Coast, been out to California, Texas,
Oh my gosh.
Tennessee, a bunch of places. And I've had a really good time. I enjoyed it. I did that for a while. I also, what else have I done? I also went to school for psychology. I have a degree in that,
Yeah.
a bachelor's. I was a psychiatric social worker for a while. So I feel like some of the skills I learned in both of those jobs helped
Yeah.
me
That's true.
where I am today. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a varied critter. I've done a bunch
how
of
did that
different
work?
things.
I'm sorry. I'm so interested in that. How did that play into everything you had to do with all that? I'm sorry if I'm interrupting. I'm just really curious about that.
Get on in.
Oh,
Get
I'm
on
I'm
in.
sorry. Yeah. In terms of psychology as well, you get double degrees as
so
well. I
the-
mean, funeral.
I
service.
went for a funeral service and I got my associates, like a 2-year degree. But then while I was studying for it, I kind of fell in love with psychology. So I went for another 2 years and I got a bachelor's in that. Then I got a job as a funeral director's assistant up in Boston. Then I came back to Jersey, tried to get a job in a funeral home. It is such a family run, tight knit business. And I was like the weirdo black sheep that didn't have any family in it and just wanted to do it.
Right.
So it was really hard for me to kind of break in. And
That's
I
funny.
ended up relying upon my psychology and got into social work at state-run psychiatric hospitals in New Jersey. So I worked at 2 different hospitals there. And that was interesting.
Yeah.
Very rewarding, incredibly stressful.
Yeah.
And it taught me that just because you're kind of good at something doesn't mean that you necessarily enjoy it or have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Um,
Talk about gray hairs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one will keep you up at night. But there are many people who do it for ages and they're fantastic at it. And, kudos to them. I was around for probably about like 5 years. I think I did that. And then I took some time off and I did modeling and I traveled and just enjoyed myself. And then met a boy, moved to Philly. Never thought I would start working in a salon as an assistant. Did. worked my way up, and now I manage the salon. I do nails. I used to do makeup. COVID has me not doing makeup at the moment, sadly. But hopefully that will change at some point. But yeah, I have a really, I don't know, I feel like I'm all over the map, but I've just sort of collected little parts from everything, and they make me the weirdo you see before you.
I love that though. You're multifaceted. You're not just multi-hyphenated. I don't know, multifaceted. You just, what are the word I'm looking for? You do so many different things. I mean, I love that. Like in myself in my career, I've done so many different things as well. And
Truth, you've been all over the place too.
I mean, you have to do it to keep it interesting. You know, I feel like sometimes when I talk to people, I feel like it's hard to explain all the different jobs that I've had, like professional job, you know, like sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, well, I work in social services, but I also make candles. And I also, work for a doctor's office where we certify patients for their medical marijuana cards. And, and I just
but I'm also a stand-up comic.
Right?
Yeah.
And I also produce this and I like do all these things. And then even in my past careers, I mean, I managed a head shop for 7 years. Simultaneously, I was working at museums for 7 years. And so I have these, like large experience in both of those areas, but they're both really, weird, and none of them really have much to do with one another. All of the jobs that I've had.
There's seemingly not a whole lot of overlap between, a bunch of the areas you find yourself in life.
Yeah.
I think maybe there sometimes is a common thread through a lot of them.
Yeah.
And for me, I think it's just as basic as helping people.
I like that.
It's more obvious in the funeral service and in the, social work aspect of it. People are in immediate crisis and need help, that kind of thing. But even just in the beauty industry,
yeah,
people come in for a service that they most of the time can't do for themselves, or just really want someone else to pamper the shit out of them and have them do it. And you get the opportunity to help someone feel really good about themselves, Yeah. So that's still helping someone in a way,
It is. I mean, people come into the salon and you help make them feel good. You make their day better. You're talkative.
Yeah.
You're doing like this sort of customer service thing where, you're engaging the person. Let's say they've had a bad day or a bad week. Like, let's say I've had a bad day or a bad week. I'm going to go into the salon. I know that I'm going to have a good time. We're going to enjoy our conversation. Like,
absolutely.
You're giving, and I'm sure it takes a lot out of you, but you give so much of yourself to the people that you're around, and just in and of that self, you're helping them. And of course you're, making them feel more beautiful or more happy about whatever,
you forget the bullshit outside for, the time you're in my chair and you just laugh and enjoy yourself and we have a good time. Like, even if it's just that, then I feel lucky that I can do something that I genuinely enjoy and have fun at, and do it for someone else, and they have fun and get to enjoy it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm lucky.
It's cool. I love that. I've definitely find myself also in helping professions. Like everything I've done, it's sort of like, when I was an educator in a museum, that was definitely like a, kind of a helping profession, helping people gain knowledge and access,
absolutely,
different information and stuff. And a lot of what we did at the museums, we explained it as like, we were interpreters of science, so we sort of took these like big, complex like science concepts, and we had to like interpret them and boil them down so that everybody we met could understand what we were saying. And I don't know where I was going with that. Sam, I got distracted by Sam.
I cannot help you right now. I'm not sure.
No,
but it was about helping.
Oh, it's about helping
you said
people.
The right word.
Yeah, there was.
That was great. Thank you. Brought me back. And it's, all of my professions have sort of been about helping people, like even working in the cannabis industry, working at head shops for 7 years. I feel like that job it involved so many different things that people would never have expected. You think, oh, head shop, she was just like selling blunts. And like, yes, I was just selling blunts. I also was selling really expensive glass. Yeah. I was selling really expensive glass. I mean, I worked at a very nice glass shop on South Street where like we had water pipes that were valued up to, $17,000.
What?
For a water. Yeah. Girl, I would sell $5,000 bong on a Friday night.
What?
These 18-year-old.
Did you not know that? Like basically her head shop and stuff like that. I looked up your head shop.
Munchies? Yeah.
That a lot of those places is where like, I'm sorry for talking.
Please, yeah.
But
no, we like
basically
it.
We're like
we
art, we're like glass art and like high and whatever with weed smoking and then self-care all like meet in a center.
Yes.
And then
That's
she's
correct.
like, come in, gather around. I'll tell you a story.
That's correct. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, and if you're able to pull up Munchies
Yeah.
Instagram, but it's
Do they
Munchies
sell any
250.
snacks?
What's that?
Do they sell any snacks?
We
in
did
there?
sell snacks. We had 2 stores. The original store, we had snacks, which is why he called it Munchies.
Exactly. I was gonna say that would be so misleading.
That
if
is
not.
why we called it Munchies. And then the second store, we just had high end glass. So it's going to be Munchies 250. It doesn't have
250, right.
have a website or Facebook. There's
Oh.
only an
Okay.
Instagram.
So you gotta
We're
be in the
shady. I have to lift
know.
my- Yeah, you got to be in the know.
There's Munchies Reloaded.
Munchies Reloaded.
Oh,
That's the
gotcha.
second store. Reloaded.
Okay.
Anyway, also my Uzi, the owner of the store. Oh, you have to
Follow.
wait. Hold on.
Oh, you got to
Let's
do
see
it.
if I can accept you. But
I mean,
yeah,
My co-host will be following.
Anyway, it's okay. That's right. We're private. Isn't that crazy? It's 7,000 followers and he's private. I mean,
It's kind of
it's-
strange.
well,
Oh,
it's,
there's a Munchies South Street. Can we go to that? There's a Facebook
you
thing.
can. There's nothing there,
There's
though.
nothing there, though?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's not going to be anything there, though.
Think about it, guys. Munchies is so exclusive. You can't even get on their Instagram, dude.
You literally
That's-
can't.
You have to
even-
be accepted.
You.
Gotta be in the know.
We are so.
I'm so
exclusive.
sorry. You put us on the spot that we should have had
No,
that loaded.
I mean, I
should have
think-
done this a while ago.
I think the funny thing is, I may have deleted this Instagram so I could put up other ones, but you know, the funny thing is about Munchies. Let's see if I still got it. Yeah. You know, back in the day, yeah, I'm gonna accept you.
You're accepting Adam.
I'm accepting.
That's
I will
fine.
accept.
He's actually that
Adam.
makes sense because he's the one who smokes weed. So.
Okay, I didn't even know you didn't. So Adam has been
I know.
accepted. That's just proof that I still run Munchies, just in case anyone was wondering.
That's legit.
I'm so I'm
Stop
tight.
making it up.
Yeah, I'm tight with the owner. I photographed his wedding and his son's bris, and I was just invited to
Yeah, babe.
his third son's bris this weekend.
Wait, wait.
Unfortunately,
What's that?
a bris is
It's a baby wiener party. No,
I'm
it's
sorry.
not.
What?
No,
it's a baby
not.
wiener party.
It is kind of a
Yeah.
baby wiener party, but there's more to it.
Yeah, it's a bris is where you know how in America all babies get most babies get circumcised, and that's like a Jewish religious thing.
Did not know that.
And most Christian babies will just get it done by a doctor. Also, let me just I'm going to go on off track. So if somebody get me back on. Side note, I absolutely hate circumcision. I do not believe in it. I really wish that it wasn't a thing that we did because a baby is born and then the first thing we do is like
Mutilate their
them.
genitals?
We cut their genitals and we wonder, I'm going to go so hype, but like we wonder why men are so angry. There's so many reasons why. One of the reasons why is the second they're born, these little innocent babies, we chop their penises apart. Like, what the fuck? Imagine
No
if we
saying
did that
it.
to women in America and how people would feel. And everyone just acts like it's this normal thing. Anyway, and also
It is totally weird when you
it's
think about it.
totally
It is
weird.
really.
But do you
And
think
also-
that men would opt to have it now because of the standards that society has set?
that's exactly why people still do it.
Yeah.
That is 100% why
it's
people
supposed
still
to
do
be
it.
like hygienic and healthier and all this stuff,
Back in
and
the
there's
day.
really no like
Not
evidence
anymore,
to
right.
support any of
We
that.
have
If you-
I
soap
played with
now.
one. It seemed okay.
if you wash it,
Well,
you wash it. You know, like keep your shit clean.
Yeah, we have soap now.
But it's kind of like an aesthetic thing.
People think it's an aesthetic.
I think.
And the
it's
thing
aesthetic.
about an uncircumcised penis is that it works with you. A circumcised penis fights against you.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
I don't.
When's the last time either of you ever saw one?
It's been a while.
It's been a very long time. I've
It makes sense.
seen them like
Yes.
out in the wild.
I was actually in love
That
with
makes
one.
sense.
I'm in love with
He
a
did
lot
me
of them.
dirty. He was a French
I thought
bitch,
just
and the
the-
accent got me.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
continue.
Well, so you know what it is it's sort of like okay, imagine you were no lube, just no nothing, just going to it. Oh, I know. but wait, bear with me for a
picture
second.
it.
Just picture it. And you're going to a penis, no lube, no nothing. And it would be really like difficult because there's that head there and so your hands can't move against the I thought that was a dick for a second.
Sorry.
No, it was a baby's head and it
No,
just
I'm not gonna just pull up a dick onto the fucking. I'm not a monster.
No, I was talking about dicks and I just saw like a white bald
Sure.
thing. I don't know.
Right.
You thought a baby was a dick.
Baby
I
was a
just
dick, I'm not gonna lie.
wanna
It's a dick
remind
with
you.
eyes.
like a very small step away.
I mean, that baby
well,
looks like a dick, you know?
It does. I guess sure.
He
Why
does
not?
kind of
Definitely
look
a
like
Richard.
asshole.
Anyway.
So your hand then has to fight over the head of the penis, which is like, you know, a larger size than the rest of the penis.
Okay.
And so it's fighting. I like to refer to it as fighting, right? No lube, no nothing. Okay. Now imagine you have a dick that's uncircumcised. Sam is like gassed. You have a dick that's
I'm
uncircumcised.
intently listening.
Yeah, I'm just trying to picture it all.
So when you jerk it off, the skin moves with your hand.
Like an instrument.
Precisely.
Sure.
Yeah. Or like one of those slinky things back, or those it was like a jelly
like
thing.
a water hot dog.
Yeah, that thing. That's exactly how they work.
Fuck is a water hot dog.
That's new to
Gross.
me. Sorry.
You know what I'm
It's
talking
a
about.
plastic tube. And it's just
Filled
kind of
with
filled
gel
with
and
water. Yeah,
stars
it's kind of like
and
a hot dog.
glitter
yeah, there'd be
and
like
shit.
glitter. You'd get them at like
That
a
sounds like the
planetarium
hot dogs
store.
you got at 7-Eleven before
Like
the
it wasn't
railway
you
came.
didn't eat it. It
Store
wasn't
in
out
the
front.
mall. Oh, they
So
were horrible,
anyway-
and then you would just like
Yeah.
play with them inappropriately. It's
Yeah.
bad.
I never had that.
Bad news.
Shake weight. Shake
Bad
Yeah,
news.
like a shake weight for
Similar.
Oh.
like a squishy
Yeah.
water-filled
Jelly.
shake weight for children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Oh,
so it
it's
sort of
fine.
works like that. Not that anyone besides us knows what that
I
is.
know what you mean.
Google it on your own. And so then it moves with your hand. And so you are actually, when you move over the head of an uncircumcised penis, that skin is moving with you and you don't need lube. And that's why, people hate hand jobs because their penises aren't, right? Your penises shouldn't have been destroyed.
Okay.
But it also makes like blowjobs easier, hand jobs easier, all of that. And also to do it all without like lubricant.
Do you know how many dudes out there that might be listening to this are like so appreciating you right now? They're like, yeah, my dick is good.
Yeah, all dicks are normal.
All
and
dick-
all dicks
all-
are
yeah,
great, you
yeah.
know.
No,
Well,
they're not.
Let's back that up.
They're not all great.
Let's back that up.
Most
I've just
dicks
been
are
really
pretty okay.
my brain was my brain was just going to like my boyfriend. I just
You're just trying to be
I was
positive.
trying to be positive. But yeah, no, I mean,
Oh,
dicks are fine.
no, so you're gonna bring? We're going right back to munchies. Don't worry. We went off over onto the woods, if you remember, and then we're gonna
Back to dicks.
I only brought this up because if people are wondering
Oh, wait.
why, because this was that movie in 2018 that came out that
American
everyone was
Turtle.
like, why are we still
oh,
circumcising
I didn't know
babies?
this was a
And
thing.
I was
I didn't know
Because
about this
people in
one.
the 90s and the 80s and stuff, I just know this because of like, we were all kind of looking around. Everyone was like, why are we still circumcising kids? Like, why are we doing it still for males? Like, why? It doesn't make any sense. And then everyone was like, shut up. Like, everyone.
Yeah.
And then this documentary came out and it was like, the
I kinda-
doctors really haven't said anymore.
I want to
That's
see
right.
one now.
And I was obsessed with uncircumcised dick. That sounds so bad. Oh my god.
Do you have any
I hope my boyfriend does-
uncircumcised dick
I hope
pics?
my boyfriend doesn't listen to this. What's that?
Do you have any uncircumcised dick pics
For
saved on your
sure.
phone right now?
Definitely.
Can
Yeah.
I see one?
After this podcast,
Okay,
after
great.
we're not filming, yeah,
Thanks.
for sure.
Yeah.
They're like
Uh,
worms.
I'll ask them for consent. Don't worry, everyone who's listening. But yeah, they are. They're like worms. And I'm sorry. What were we talking about? Yeah, I forget. I
Munchies.
just got
But this all is still munchies. I don't know.
Wants
I
us to
mean,
go back to munchies.
well, no, but that's
I
where we
will.
were going. You went on a sidetrack. I
I
think.
had to photograph.
I like the tangent.
I had to photograph
just all
this
this
man's son. This son's
uncircumcised-
bris.
Oh, bris. That's what it was. It
You
was.
also- I was
That's what it was,
mortified.
yeah.
That was a horrifying moment to
Yeah, it's
photograph
tough.
his son's bris because.
But wait, what is that again?
Okay, the bris
The-
is
That's
in
the
Jew-
circumcision.
The
but
ceremony of
it's
the
a yeah.
Yeah.
But for Jewish people,
Of the
we
What
do
do
it
you like
in a
save it and
synagogue.
put it on an altar?
You don't do
Like
You do
bow
it-
to it?
Well, normally for Christians, it's done
The
in the
shriveling.
hospital by a doctor.
Yeah.
By Jewish people, it's done by a moil, who's like a religious person who does it in the synagogue, and like the family surrounding the baby. And actually, no women. I was at a very Orthodox synagogue, and no women are ever allowed up on the altar.
Yeah.
But because I was photographing, I was allowed up on the altar to see
Fuck
this.
those rules.
Yeah, only men are allowed to do this. It's like a whole thing, you know? Yeah. And so I was allowed to be up there. And my boss, Uzi, said, he kept going, get closer. And I was like, no. And he said, no, get closer. And I said, no. And I just shut my eyes and shot away. And I just went like this and I just didn't look. That's what a bris is. That's why we got
What
on
do they
penises.
do with it?
What do they do with the skin?
Yeah.
Not to
They
my
just,
knowledge.
like,
I don't know.
throw it.
Do they
There's
do
a
anything?
Like
lot
both religions. You know, I don't know much about religion. I'm very ignorant in that sense.
Okay.
So I
Well, the
either side.
most
What?
people who
Medical
aren't
ways,
Jewish just get
usually.
it done at the hospital when the
Like
baby's
medical-
born. So they
Okay.
just
I knew that.
Jews.
Yeah.
There's a whole thing. We'll not get into that.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds really.
I don't know what they
interesting.
do with it. There's a
Wait,
different sects of Jews do different.
It's like
things
a
with
party
it.
though, basically.
It's like a party, yeah.
Gotcha.
And it's the baby when the baby's 7 or 8 days old. That's when the party is, yeah. So my boss just had his third son and had his breast over this weekend. The Uzi, the owner of Munchies.
So like,
Mazel tov, Uzi. Hope you're listening. Yeah.
do they invite
Your
like
ween's
friends?
okay, kid.
What's that?
Hope your ween's okay, little
Yeah,
kid.
right. Yeah.
Like, do they invite friends?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
So
like a
friends and family are
Okay.
are around, and everyone's like
Friends
there for this.
too. Okay.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of brisses in my
Christening,
life.
Yeah.
Have you really?
It's all the same.
Yeah,
so
we all
interesting.
juice. It's what we do.
Do you get
This is
like-
yeah.
interesting.
Mhm.
Like some kind of numbing thing? They like light a cane?
No,
or
they-
something? They
That's the weird part. They take in for
never thought about
Orthodox
this.
Jews. They take
Mm.
wine.
Yeah.
They take wine and they dip it in the baby's mouth.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Yeah.
That's what they do. That's what they did at this bris. That's what they do at Orthodox brisses.
Right.
Every sect of Judaism will be different. So
Okay.
you know,
Never thought about that part actually.
yeah, and it's yeah. I'm not an expert.
It's tough.
I'm not Orthodox. I don't know a lot about those.
No, you
but
answered.
Yeah,
I like
I'm-
learning.
Yeah, but
I had no
it's-
idea.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting. So I think they give them a little red wine. That's the
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I mean,
that's the
shit.
trick.
When
They just put in the
you're
back of the gum.
teething, you know.
Yeah.
Used to
This
put
is
a little-
America. I'm
I
surprised they
think
don't give them
people put,
moxie.
like alcohol
Yeah.
on their gums and shit. People like vodka or
Yeah.
whiskey or whatever on babies' gums when they were teething. People do that shit.
Yeah, I think they either dip a little cloth and put it in the baby's
Yeah,
mouth, or
yeah,
they
yeah.
dip a person's finger and just pop it in the baby's mouth.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
if you convert now, right?
What's that?
If you convert now as a male and you're uncut, I believe
What happens? You have to be
You have to be
circumcised. Mm-hmm.
circumcised to be in the religion.
Oh,
Yeah, and you wanna know
I
the
thought it
weird
was the other
thing?
way around.
No. You have to be circumcised. So
Yeah.
if a man comes over from Europe, where it's more commonly that they are uncut,
Yes,
and then he converts to Judaism, he must
They
then
gotta do it.
be.
that's correct.
Cut.
What?
Do you want to know the weirder thing? If
Sure.
you are circumcised and you
Oh, no.
want to convert,
Oh yeah.
They put it back on.
No.
no, you still have to
Go through
draw
this-
blood
right.
for your ceremony. So I have cousins who were circumcised, but they wanted to be bar mitzvahed. And in
Oh
order
my
to be bar mitzvahed, they had to be fully converted. And so I remember we were like 12 years old and my parents were explaining that my cousins were going to have blood drawn of their
Right.
penis
From
for-
their-
Yeah.
Oh, Did they
Dick
just,
blood.
like,
for
cut
the
'em?
cert. I think they just
I think
pinprick
it's just like a
Mhm.
It's not
blood
Like-
drawn, just
like-
a little pin. Yep.
like diabetes.
Uh-huh.
not that bad.
And then they made so that's the other weird part
Oh,
about it is you would have to
scary.
It's a
do
little
that.
rough.
Yeah. I feel like Neil knows a lot about uncircumcised penises,
do.
and we'll talk
Why
about
is it
this
so-
We can talk
later,
about that.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk outside.
Oh, we're definitely there too. I forgot to give you your thing. Sorry. I was enraptured, and we're like, I've been raptured by this whole thing. So, but munchies as well for the expensive because now we're in. I think we're in on the thing.
Okay,
so
wait.
I'm
So can
sorry.
you're in. I let you in. So yeah, Munchies. We had extremely expensive glass, like those water
Look at
pipes you're
these
looking
things.
at. Those pipes, for example, that's a $300 spoon pipe. That's a $500 water pipe. That over there to the right is a $1,500 water pipe. I managed the store for over 5 years, and I still like help with his Instagram and do other things for him as well. Yeah, it's like $1,500 bong. It's like a freezer coil. But yeah, I mean, I sold bongs like that were $10,000, $5,000. It was like nothing,
Can you imagine breaking that?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I've broken a lot and I just would never do that. I
Yeah,
imagine
these are-
they're probably
I
pretty
break
great.
Something that costs $30 and I'm like,
These
Yeah.
are highly customized.
Yeah.
these
Oh,
are-
yeah. I mean, these are just like, and these are Illadelphs, which are local. But if you keep scrolling down, he'll have like more artsy stuff. I don't run his Instagram anymore, so he's just doing
Right.
crazy shit. But I mean, there's like all kinds of really artsy stuff. And yeah, I mean, I think what I was getting at is a lot of my jobs involve helping people. This was the whole point. And part of working in a head shop is it's helping guide people and also helping make them feel comfortable, helping make them feel cool. A lot of times people come into the shop and they're really unknowledgeable. And this stuff was so underground for so long, which is actually why the Instagram is private, because he's been in business for over a decade and I've been in the industry for 8 years. And when you've been in the industry so long, like the kids these days, they don't know it because they have legal weed and they have, medical, and they think it's all just cool and you can put it out there. And if you've been in the industry for a long time like me, you have to be very safe and careful with what you do. And I originally started my head shop career at Artifacts, which was the first head shop in Philadelphia. It's in the Northeast Philly. And them in Wonderland, they came up at the same time. They were the first two. And they're so old school that they like fought to go to court to like have the right to sell paraphernalia. And they actually have like a license to sell paraphernalia, which no one else in the city has. It's really cool. But they're so old school. I mean, they were around for 30 plus years. And so when I started working there 8 years ago, the managers who were in their like mid 40s, they had families, they didn't smoke. And they explained to me that a few years ago, they had been raided by the police, and they had all been like zip tied. They had to go to jail for the night, and they like ripped apart the store because they were, looking for something. I don't know. They found nothing, but and the store ended up suing the police who came in, but they were so scared of that and so traumatized from that they were so careful. So at Artifacts, when people walked in, if someone said weed or cannabis or bong or bowl, we had to kick them out. We could not sell them anything. And people would get so
I
mad.
remember those rules when I was in high school.
Yeah.
I grew up in Jersey.
Yeah.
And you'd come into South Street and walk around. And it was always like, okay, when you go in there, nobody say bong.
Yeah.
Nobody say weed. Okay. Nobody say bong. It's a water pipe.
Mm-hmm. It's a water. You'll often hear me. I will try when I'm talking to people, I try and be cool and say, oh, bong and weed. But that actually feels very uncomfortable for me because I worked in the head shops for so long that I had to say water pipe and pipe just, and tobacco and flour, flour, you won't, I try and be cool and go, oh, weed. But really, I prefer, cannabis, flower, all these sort of, what's the word? Yeah.
Technical,
Alternative terms.
clinical.
Yeah, the right.
kinda,
I want to say the right, but yeah, exactly. The medical terms or whatever. And and it's such an interesting job. I mean, people come in and they don't know anything and they're, they heard about something or they want to try it. And so there's a lot of uncomfortable feeling in people coming in. And so you really do have to make them feel welcome and help them. And that's one of the things that I'm rambling. But that's one of the things I've always loved about all my jobs is just like helping people, whatever I'm doing, whether I'm working in social services or I'm working at a head shop or I'm working now at a doctor's office and we're certifying people. I mean, feels like being back at the head shop because I'm, people come in and they're like, all right, I want to get my medical card. And they're calling me and they're like, I have no idea how to do it. Where do I start? Or like, I talk to these like grannies, these like 80-year-old grannies who are like,
cute.
yeah, who were like, this one lady, she was so sweet. She told me like this story. She's like, I'm just so sad that I can't see my family and my grandkids these days. And I'm like really depressed. And she's like, I just have no motivation. And someone said that like medical marijuana might help. And I was like, yeah, no, it totally will. I was like, it definitely will. She was like, okay, great. I've never tried it before. She's like, I'm 80 years old. I'm like, okay, I will help you out.
Glad she
Can I
didn't call
come
it a
and smoke
jazz
with
cigarette
you?
or something.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys have those jazz cigarettes that all the fun people smoke?
Do you sell roach clips?
Oh, roach clip. I mean, that was only a question from someone who was born in the 80s. Like
My mom always talks about hers.
roach clips. Yeah,
I love roach clips, you guys.
She had a roach clip
was
that
born in
spelled
the
out the word weed and gave it to me. I felt really special.
Yeah. Yeah, they love a good roach clip. We kids these days use like a glass filter that they'll put the joint in instead of a
So if you're old and you used to work at CVS or Drug Fair, like somewhere where they developed photos,
yeah.
they have the little alligator clips.
Yep.
With the plastic nubs, perfect size.
Yep.
I have like 20 of them.
I love that.
I used to. Oh my god, handfuls of them.
Yeah.
Handfuls of them. They make the best roach clips.
They are. I used to use those in college. We would roll up those Randy's wire papers and they would. You ever use this? They're papers of a built-in
No.
wire. I still have some in my closet.
Was it Razorbacks? They do those.
I don't know.
too?
I don't know them, but this was Randy's. Yeah.
Similar thing, I think,
Same
yeah.
idea. And you would roll it up, and then as you would smoke it, it looked like a little paper clip. It would just sort of pop out the bottom, and you would just hold that and then use that to keep going. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No, I never used those.
Yeah, I love those. Yeah. Yeah. It's wild. I mean, the head shop and the cannabis life, it's really it's a fascinating world. I mean, you get stuff like those $10,000 bongs, and then you have like those kids who are obsessed with that sort of world. But then you also have everyone else, you have like firefighters and like.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's there's no such thing as a pothead anymore. There's people who are legitimately, trying to relieve pain and stress and really aren't doing it recreationally, are doing it 100% medicinally at home by themselves after work, and they don't go out and they're totally responsible. And that's awesome because I think it's bringing relief to a whole lot of people who would otherwise not have experienced that relief. There's that whole taboo about, well, you're not supposed to get high. It's no, fuck it, get high. You're going to feel great. It's going to help you,
Yeah.
But then there are people who just do it recreationally and it's fun.
Hey, and there's nothing wrong with that.
But half and half. Like it's definitely pain relief. I have stomach issues. I have chronic pain issues. It 100% helps. Anxiety, it definitely helps.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a 50-50 for me. But like no matter what your reasons are for it, I think it's fantastic that people are finally feeling comfortable enough to ask for that kind of help, whatever their reason is for wanting it. I think it's awesome, especially the little old ladies coming in.
And here in PA,
Cute.
It's so cute. Here in PA, you can get certified for so many things: chronic pain, anxiety. One of the things people don't know about is opioid addiction. Is that you can be certified if you had an opioid addiction,
which is a problem for obviously, we know that's a problem for so many people. Just heard, this is like how relatable it is. My family, huge family, one of the older aunts, surgery in the hospital, so much pain, refuses to take the pain medication. And they're like, why? You're like, it's going to help you. It's prescribed. You're in the hospital. The doctors are going to monitor. She's afraid she's going to get addicted.
Yeah. I get that.
From like one dose of a painkiller the hospital is giving you while you were there in the hospital. She's that afraid because
That's a shame.
how bad you hear,
Yeah.
you hear how horrible it is.
That's usually how it goes, though. You end up like stubbing your toe and you go into the ER and they're like, here's 7 months worth of Oxy. Hope you feel better.
Late
And that's-
90s.
Yeah, and that's
It
just
was
how it
also
is
the
here.
prescribing after. That was the big. It was like, sure, in the hospital they typically wean you off and stuff, but it was actually in a lot of the prescribing after, and then all the terrible
long term,
practices. And all that stuff.
Yeah, that's
It's pretty
true.
rough. Pretty rough stuff. We're just a ball full of laughs in here. Let's get into the opioid crisis, everybody. Let's get into it.
Listen. This is not a comedy podcast. We're
No,
going
it's
all
not.
over the
It's
place.
real,
No,
dude.
no, it's good. That's what I like about this, though. I don't want to do a comedy podcast. We're gonna go all over the place. We're gonna take you a little deep, and we're gonna bring you back up. We'll take you all over the place. You never know where we're gonna go. Yeah, that's my life. Where you never know. We'll go deep. We'll go up. We'll go all over the place. Deep, high. I don't know what we're doing. We are gonna wrap it up though. That was fun as hell, y'all. That was amazing.
For sure.
Thank
I am-
you so much for having me.
Thank
Of
you.
course, thanks for coming.
This has been so much fun, and our guest Adrienne Novak has been amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This has been Sam Cap and Sam Dub with Sam We Are.
Sam.